Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nasty Gram RPG Podcast for another installment of Choose Your Own Adventure. This is a blast from the past, part 1.
And welcome everyone to another Nasty Gram Choose Your Own Adventure. I'm John. I'll be DMing this fun bunch here. And speaking of fun bunch, what characters we got around the room here?
Are we still the hard boys?
I mean, it's Hilgus is in charge, so
We are the hard
you're the
boys.
hard boys.
Hey, I am Dan, and I am playing Sumanis.
Can I call you Sue?
Yeah, it's happening.
I'll definitely stab you.
Sumanis.
I will heal you, so it's okay.
What's up with Sumanis?
Sumanis is a elf, and he is a cynosure in this Tradicium organization.
It's a lot of words.
Yeah, I know, right? Nothing. It means nothing to our listeners too, which is pretty great. He is a wayfinder for when people in the Tradicium
Skip
Guild
ahead to 18 minutes, 45 seconds if you don't want to hear this description.
and helps them get from point A to point B.
If you remember Luca from the last game, he's basically a baby Luca.
What's your class?
Cynosure,
Oh, you're fucking some homebrew.
aka Bard,
bullshit.
aka Bard.
Okay.
Sue the Bard.
That
Got
was
it.
loud. Josh, and I'm playing Veet again with a probably different character voice because I haven't listened to the first episode. Veet is a human, kind of street rat from the streets of Ragos. He's a sorcerer. He's a requisitionist in the Tradicium, sort of a chaotic magic lucky boy. He's the lucky boy, the hard boys.
Street
Leader.
rat. I don't buy that.
And coming from
There
a
is-
recent victory,
There is so much more to you, though.
the great
is-
leader of the hard boys.
This is Ryan. I'll be Hilgis Hirlikit, leader of the Hard Boys, enjoyer of salted meats and hard cheeses. That's why we are the Hard Boys.
So you don't like soft cheeses, though?
No,
That is
no,
very
no, no,
distinct.
no.
Okay.
And this is Jake, and I will be playing Shazim, who has a dairy intolerance and will not be eating the cheeses. Shazim. And there's no relation to any other
Property.
I believe you were thinking of my cousin. what the fuck is Shazim? Oh, yeah. Shazim is a warlock, and he is of the, what is it called? The Pact of the Djinn.
And he's in the mythos, right?
He is mythos, yes.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So we have our new crew here. Well, some new, some old. You guys find yourself in back in the Tradicium in the halls, having been back for the two of you who were on the mission to Lockwater have been back for about a week now. You've heard that they've sent out some of the more senior members of the Tradicium to quote unquote quarantine Lockwater after the incident.
Sounds fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's good.
We did good.
And it did set a bit of the Tradicium abuzz regarding the meteor strike that happened, the oddities that are occurring in Lockwater, and maybe what was brought back from Lockwater.
I don't know anything about that.
But that's out of your minds now. It's been a week now. And Hilgus, you find yourself in a meeting hall
Splendid.
with Luca, the cynosure that actually traveled with you to the crossroads, and the head of the cynosure, Master Gaifiro. Gaifiro is a elf. He's usually in the field. He's not often in the Tradicium. He's helping some of the more senior staff get from A to B, but he isn't here now. And also in this room is a old wizard, is Witherford. He's fairly new to the Tradicium, but he's been in the Arcanum studying in the library. He's kind of huddled over some books. And Hilgus, you're here with Shazim, Vit, and another elf who you probably don't know. How long have you been here?
The Tradicium?
Yeah.
He's probably been at the Tradicium a little over a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
but his studies are pretty. He's only been probably at it for like the last 6 months.
Okay.
Now, Guy Fiero,
Mm.
what
Guy
kind of chef
Fieri?
is he? And
Gefiro.
are his tips
Does he have
frosted?
frosted tips? 100%.
Well, he is an elf, so of course
Yeah.
he has frosted tips.
Outstanding.
Mr. Fiero, why do you wear your sunglasses like that? It is strange and confusing.
It's in case I need them.
Can he do super views for Matt's game, Bloodstone?
Guy Fiero says, thank you for coming. Hilgus, what you brought to us maybe was not great news, but at least we were able to catch it before it got worse.
We did good, yeah? Yeah? Vit?
I mean, a mission accomplished, I think, is the bottom line of what happened out there. And I think that's the most important thing to take out of that.
Sorry, what do you guys look like?
Yes.
Hilgus?
Yeah.
Hilgus is a strapping fellow. Reddish blonde hair, very baby faced. Like definitely has like 3 hair mustache going, but I think I said he's in his like late teens probably. But yeah, big strong paladin.
Vit is fairly young human northerner. He's 22 years old. On the short side, 5'7", slender build, about 150 pounds, pale blue, very bright eyes, constantly shifting. His eyes kind of just never stop moving around the room. Fair skin and blonde hair. He's handsome in a way, but also kind of has he looks a bit worn for his 22 years old, and dresses very functionally, kind of traveler's clothes, and has like bandolier and belt with just kind of pouches all over it.
Sumanis is an elf, and he's a very pale elf, almost like albino white, along with his hair as well, which he kind of ties back. It's a little past shoulder length. He's got a darker gray eye color, and he wears like a traveling clothes, but more like on kind of the robe, kind of wizardly bend. Again, dark gray with like a black trim that have what's kind of
EMS, rude.
Can you tell him?
Yeah, 6 streets off limits.
that has what's pretty common amongst sinishers is runes and kind of glyphs written along the trim of their clothes. He's roughly 5'8", 5'9", and a very slender build. He's kind of got that, you almost wouldn't call him attractive, elves, how they can almost be kind of that otherworldly, like that thinness to them. He's got a lot of that going on.
Cool. And
Shazim?
Shazim is average height, dark complexion,
Dark
he's
blue?
dark like brown, dark brown, like Middle Eastern looking.
Weird.
He
Not really what I pictured, but
he's super like muscular, but not like
Like an acrobat.
no, like it's all show muscle, like an actor who just wants to get cut.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he like never wears a shirt. He wears like a vest.
Emilio Estevez in the house.
He has a kind of stubbly white goatee, and he wears a turban with a glowing red jewel in the front of it. And he's just kind of standing there with his arms crossed.
He's older though, in human, right?
He's not that old,
Okay.
but he does have like, well, you never seen him without the turban on, but he does have like a kind of a whitish colored goatee.
Cool.
Master Gilfano, after he kind of, sees you in, and they were discussing before you got in, he says, well, I will let you in the capable hands of Luca and Witherford. He nods to all of you. Good luck. And heads out. Luca looks at you. Well, we meet again. And, Sumanas, have you been on a mission before?
Sumanas hasn't, no.
This will be your first alone.
Sumanas is excited.
I'd look around like I'm looking for another person. We all do, probably.
Where is Sumanas?
Sumanas is here before you.
Are you Sumanas?
I'm Shazim.
Look,
You have, but
Heligus, I think it's an elf thing.
Luca says, yes, he speaks in the third person. That is Sumanas. He kind of gestures over.
this will get confusing.
Well, let me let you in on why I brought you here. Hilgis, with your expertise now, we figured...
We did.
I'm sorry. I DM'd last game and expertise. Yeah, all right.
Glory follows me.
We figured another field mission might be up your alley. And what we have is tenuous, but we think there might be something interesting. The Sinisters, my brothers and sisters, we travel these roads, these... What did you call the gates or the posts?
Guideways.
We travel along the roads, guideway to guideway, bringing members as far as we can, as fast as we can. In the Middle Kingdoms, maybe a bit south from where you were in Lockwater, there are reports. Sinisters are getting to a certain post on the guideway and are experiencing a temporal... He kind of thinks, disruption? It is pulling them out of the guide.
I do not follow so good. Maybe
You remember when I was traveling with you and we were walking at great speed?
yes, that was strange and fun.
Well, there's a point on the road where it seems to pull you forward and then backward and forward, and eventually you make it past, but it's not like anything we've seen before.
It sounds like you might get nauseous from that. Right? That does not sound pleasant.
Yes, maybe. Someone who's not used to this type of travel might be, but in any case, we decided to look into what was happening, or more precisely, what existed in that area. And, well, we had the Arcanum, Witherford. Yes. Well, we look into it, and in front of him you see what looks like a kind of cuneiform tablet, like a clay tablet, ancient, and then another like journal, or maybe a family, like a noble's family, like book where they write the deeds of the people who came before, kind of open to a page. And he says, yes, well, we were looking into this area and we found there was an ancient city named Untoro. It was run by Duke Aran Kinski. The Kinski family had existed there for many years. Well, looking through their family history, seems as though Duke Arando, this may have been hundreds of years ago now, before the Awakening. Duke Arando, he was a warlike man. He would raid around him kingdoms and duchies and counties, pillage and raid and plunder. Well, he always kept a good list of what he'd found, anything interesting. The family vault of the Kinski family was vast with riches, whatever they found. Well, one thing led to another, and looking into a certain item listed as a golden sand glass, time device back in the day. Well, looking in, he kind of gestures at the clay tablet. There's a listing. These tablets, they are old, thousands of years ago, when magic existed before. Well, this is a simple inventory of a mage tower, and in it lists something. Well, we think it's the same item, and we think perhaps that this Kinski maybe before didn't know what he had, or when magic wasn't, when the winds of magic weren't blowing in this world, the item didn't work, or I don't know. In any case, we think it may have to do with what's happening here.
And this is why you bring a requisitionist, because inventories.
Veet is very good at finding things and keeping track of the things he gets and giving people things when they need them. So he will be good at this. And Sue is you, right?
Sumanis.
Sue can travel fast, right? Like the Luca.
Sumanis is still learning, but he can help.
And Shazim looks really nice in his vest.
I smile and nod.
I don't know much besides that about you, but I think the vest is nice. And
What time of year is it right now?
It was spring, so yeah, spring.
it might be a little off season, but I think you'll be okay. And I think we will find out what is wrong, and we will fix it, and we will come back again with good news. Better news maybe than last time.
A question. Do we know why this vault has not been raided already?
We don't. It perhaps is, well, the Tory, when they were on the warpath before the Awakening, they went through the Middle Kingdoms, and any of the dukes, counts, kingdoms that didn't bend a knee were razed and plundered. The Tory are very good at taking notes of what they plunder, steal, stores, supplies, that kind of thing. Well, nothing was listed in this raid. And it seems as though whatever was protecting this vault, or perhaps the vault was hidden, they just didn't see and moved on. The town has more than likely been burned and destroyed.
So the vault, the place, is what we seek, and it may not be visible to the naked eye.
Perhaps, yes.
Well, this is why I am with you, my friend. This is my area of expertise.
Always good to have a mythos. You know, see the things that the rest of us have to deal with.
And I will know a sandglass when I see it, because I use them to cook eggs sometimes.
Yes, well, the sunglasses will be golden and gems around. It must be. Well,
Veet's walking, just kind of continuously walking around the table, and he stops and he's looking over Witherford's kind of shoulder, looking down at the cuneiform tablets and kind of going from side to side and referencing as he's talking.
The cuneiform, you can't read what's on there. It's written in.
I have +6 in cuneiform.
Wow.
I mean, you've probably seen these tablets around if you've been in the Tradisium, in the library specifically. A lot of the information that has been gleaned off of a lot of the things that Mythos is doing now is to figure out how to handle magic now that it's back. And one of the best ways to do that is to read up on what it was like way back when magic still existed. So yeah, you've seen them before, but you haven't really picked up. Well, maybe you've picked up a little bit of it, but
not much.
No, not much. Well,
This place, Untoro,
yes,
is it a ruin now?
we think so. None of us have been there yet. We are just that's why you are here, to go discover what is left, if anything. It may be that nothing is there, and this is just simply a trick of the way, but he shrugs.
And to put the point on it, our mission to recover this hourglass, last time there was maybe some misunderstanding of what a successful mission would be, which of course it was. But the goal to recover this hourglass, and that is it.
As far as we are concerned, recovering that hourglass is the only goal. And if it still exists, or, well, mainly the goal is to investigate what is happening. We think it has to do with this hourglass, but yes, well, it has to be. This item must be a powerful magic came back. And Witherford's kind of mumbling to himself, going through papers.
Sumanis would like to know if it has affected the cynosures that have come and gone.
Not permanently. Only on the way.
None have been harmed.
No. It is as if when you are walking and you trip on your own foot, right? Sometimes that happens. It's like that. It's not dangerous or harmful. It just happens.
Whether it is a trick of the mind or it is a trick of the magic, yes?
Yes.
Veet stops next to Hilgus and he lays down a piece of parchment. And so we write our mission, to recover Hourglass, investigate the effects of the Hourglass. And that is when we know.
Is there like a rank
is
structure?
accomplished.
Like, is Hilgus actually in charge?
It was voted, basically.
To a certain extent, he is in charge, yeah.
Okay, all right.
There is a decent amount of structure in the Tradicium.
I'm sorry. Is Shazim an undefeated leader of the fucking Tradicium?
No, I'm just wondering, like, why you're writing him a list.
Want to know?
Well, he's also the man behind the curtain, so to speak. It might be.
There were some questions last mission around about whether the mission was accomplished, and we were good to leave.
Lucas says, well, we'll be leaving in the morning, so be sure to get rest. Although the travel isn't far, it may be, well, we don't know exactly how far away from the road this city lies, but in any case, we will get you as close as we can.
Yeah, and I assume then I should see and speak to Pharaoh to make sure we are provisioned.
Yes, of course.
I will get you a list of things that I think are necessary.
Yes, of course. Hilgus. Send it, and I shall see. And Shazim and Sue, anything that you have to add?
I believe I have all I need.
Sumanis does as well.
Oh, I would ask for perhaps a rubbing or a copy of that tablet.
Yes, of course. I have one right here, actually, and he already has one. They have, they file them away. And he hands it to you. Anything else you need from me?
Sumanis shakes his head no.
No, thank you, wise wizard.
I must get back to it. He kind of collects all his stuff, all his books and papers and stuff, and
It was nice
shuffles
to
off.
meet you.
Oh, yes, of course. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
And heads off.
Be
Lucas-
careful with those tablets. I don't want you to fall down while you're.
Don't worry
If you're talking about falling a lot, and if you fall while you're carrying those, they would break. Do you want me to carry them back for you? I can.
No.
Veet sits down next to Hilgus. So, of course, the rations we will need, and
Yeah,
He's
the
like
list
a
he gives
teacher.
you is just food. Like it's all. It just says food on it.
yes,
Preferably, you know what I like.
I do.
meats and cheeses. Lucas says, well, if that'll be all, we will meet in the morning.
You will bring.
Yes.
Yes. Very good.
He nods to all of you and walks out.
Gentlemen, it has been good to meet you. Congratulations on your previous victory.
Thank you.
I will see you in the morning then.
Yes, credit to our leader. May Hilgus and the new hard boys be equally
Yes,
successful.
welcome to the Hard Boys, Shazim and Sue.
The what?
The Hard Boys is what we call ourselves.
Kind of a cheese thing.
It was Al who came up with it.
Forgive
I believe.
me, your language is still new to me. Oh, very well.
It's because we are so hard and we enjoy hard cheeses.
It is a strange language, to be sure.
It's a play on words, I think.
As we kind of break and walk away, Veet leans next to Hilgus and says, I already know that Al would find Sumanis a soft boy.
We got there. Do you have a list for me that I can cross stuff out?
Yes, working on it.
Has Veet added any additions to his quarters yet? Or is he still on the move?
Oh, he's still on the move, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's only been like a week, right? Technically, since a week or two since the last mission.
Metagame, anybody have anything to add?
Definitely cures for blindness
Yours for blindness.
More rope.
and
Oh, we do need more.
maybe
rope.
a DeLorean. I think a DeLorean might be useful in this adventure.
Bag of gems.
You never know. If you don't ask, you won't know.
Yep.
Jake, is Shazim living at the Tradicium?
Yeah.
We were describing it last time around that it's kind of the place, just the scale of it. It has a lot of general quarters for people who choose to stay and work for the Tradicium. So we were just kind of describing our quarters last time. But yeah, I think. How long have you been living here, Veet?
Veet's been here not long, like probably going on 4 months now.
Yeah, that's what you had said. And Hilgus?
I think I said right around the same time frame.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think Veet went on one mission like out of game, background wise, and then
Yep.
this one, and this is his third.
Yeah, I think Sumanis has actually lived here for a year, but only been training for like the last 6 months.
Well, elf shit.
Yep. Take your time. Got lots of it.
And we see how the fucking provision list is going. I see some counter notes and pen, which I don't love.
Sorry, I don't have a pencil here.
Well, it's usually very final. It's usually
Dungeon masters don't need pencils. All right?
not
Word
thrown.
is final.
Okay.
Most of it, everything else is pretty good.
Yeah. Bag of gems once again. Over 2. My argument, V's argument that you never know the local currency.
Right.
But a bag of gems is a bag of gems.
The local currency for an abandoned,
ruin.
torn down ruin.
You might need to barter with a giant rat. You never
right.
know.
We
You never
never
know.
the gems.
You
Yeah.
never know.
That's what the hard cheese is for.
We do have. So here's what we're rolling out with. In addition to your SAG, your standard adventurer's gear, antitoxin times 2. We got 150 gold. We got 4 healing potions, some ink and parchment, holy water, manacles, 10 days of rations, rubbing of tablet for Shazim, big tablet fan, cask of wine, 100 feet of silk rope, and lots of hard cheese.
I'm also going to need a charger for that tablet.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's a technology
We
joke.
only have USB-B and we don't have any USB-C chargers.
Dear Lord.
All right. Next day comes. You have that list of supplies. You kind of haul it away, and Luca meets you out in front of the Tradicium.
I hand off the bags of gear as usual to Hilgus.
Yeah, I mean, Shazim looks like a strapping lad. He could probably carry some cheese.
So Shazim actually, you notice like he shows up with nothing. Like he's wearing a traveling cloak because it's probably too cold to be shirtless all the time.
But it's open
and
still,
he
right?
has a he does have a giant two-handed curved sword on his back, but he doesn't have like a backpack or anything like that.
Okay. Veet hands you a backpack. You and really?
What? Oh, your thing cut up?
It is the second one down, right?
Yeah. Say
Check 1, 2, check 1, 2.
Yeah.
God, dude, I feel.
Thank you, my friend. Are these additional supplies we will need?
Yes, yeah, we've spread out a little bit. You have some, and
I will carry
Hilgus
some
has
as well.
some, and I have much on my own.
It doesn't look like it, but he does carry much in his fanny pack. I mean,
Cargo shorts. I mean,
Oh, man.
his satchels.
Everything we need.
Lucas says, all right. Well, you're ready to go then?
Yeah, this is the fun part.
Yes. He hands all of you this coin. Jake, on the coin is an image of a compass rose. And you haven't been here too long, right? In the Tradicium?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
It's easier that way.
He hands it to you and he says, you probably haven't. Here, hold on to this. Do not lose it. This is how you'll travel with me. And kind of hands it to you. And you all get a coin. And then he goes, well, if you're ready. And then he starts to step forward, and you two, and actually you've probably done this too. you feel that sensation of the world starting to speed up around you, even though you're walking at a walking pace, and kind of the world around passes by. Shazim, you never felt this before. This kind of melding of slow, normal movement, and then this quick pace of these trees and hedges flying by outside as you walk down this path.
John.
Yeah.
One thing Veet did bring is a coin, but it's like a lead coin.
Yeah.
And he presses the traveling coin hard into it. Hard.
Right.
And as we travel, he takes a dagger and he's trying to whittle it to match.
Okay. Do you have is there like is there a forgery skill?
Deception,
Investigation, sleight of hand.
Why don't you do sleight of hand?
Okay.
Don't drop it, V.
Say 12.
Okay. It's a little disorienting walking in this path and trying to do a task like that. But you think you got a reasonable facsimile of the coin. You travel like this for...
It's all about the prestige. I'm just waiting for my moment.
You travel this way for a good 4 or 5 hours. And as you get to your destination, which looks like the middle of a road in the middle of nowhere, the trees start to slow down around you, and you kind of come to this lurching stop in the middle of the road. And Simonis, you and Luca almost at the same time, kind of get this like feeling like you're off balance, like you have vertigo. You see him, like, as you're slowing down, kind of stumble to the side, and you feel the same thing where you feel like you're falling forward, but you're not.
I will kind of reach out and try to like steady him while at the same time steadying myself.
Yeah.
Like just trying to get our footing again. And is there anything that's actually happening to kind of the stream or the path that we're traveling in?
Roll perception.
Sure.
Roll a dice.
Josh, after we stop, you notice Shazim is no longer
16.
carrying the backpack.
Good.
You
Oh my Lord, I just remembered what happened. Dear God. Okay.
As you study him, you look at the forest around you, and usually when you come out of this travel, this way pathing, it's pretty steady. Like the change in speed is steady, but as that's slowing down against it, you see what looks like, if there's like a shockwave from like a explosion.
Yep.
You feel next you see this shockwave kind of go like through you along the side off into the distance, and you equate that to when you felt like you were steady. It kind of came through you. But that's it. It just kind of dissipates out to the distance.
Sure.
And as you come out of it, everything kind of
So
goes
it's very
normal.
much almost like we hit a perimeter.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As I kind of
He goes,
stumble,
You felt it too.
Sumonis felt this.
Well, let's hope you can find the reason for it.
Well, then I suppose this means we are in the right place.
Yes, doesn't look like much, but we think that the city is north of the road. And he kind of points. There's like a hunting trail, looks like, kind of cut into the side of the wooded area, where you're in this like lowland or kind of hilly land of deep, dense forests in the Middle Kingdoms that can kind of get split up by plains here and there. But for the most part, it's these deep woods in rolling hills. And as you look north, there's this kind of wall of a forest as it gets deeper and darker, and kind of cut into it. It looks like what you would equate to a hunter's path.
Luca, you must be hungry from your exertions, and I...
Yes, he
Shazim, the pack.
Yes.
have you dropped it?
Simonis kind of wanders off already, looking at the
No,
trail
it
north.
is with me. I follow Simonis.
Well, we need for Luca. He needs.
I'm fine. He has his own pack and starts eating.
And I'll get the coins.
Luca, will you be coming with us?
Oh, yes. No, I will be heading back to the Tradicium. But I will need your coins back. One of you may carry it, but otherwise I need the rest back. He puts his hand out.
As I hand it back, I say, how are we to return?
They know the way. If you think it to the coin, we will come get you.
V takes this moment to kind of like help gather the coins and go over to Sumanis or go over to Luca, and then kind of bump into him and kind of drop the coins and gather them back up and hand it to him. And I'm going to use my
he literally tried this last time.
Tides of Chaos.
Yeah.
He tried to do this
For a
last
sleight
time.
of
Sleight of
hand,
hand, right?
to kind of gather things back up and hand it to him.
Okay. Rolling nat 20.
Yeah.
Fuck. Saw that. Brutal.
21.
You're here like handing him all these coins. And he picks one out. He looks at V. He goes, what is this?
Oh, my lucky coin. That would be very unfortunate for me.
He kind of, as you grab for it, he kind of looks at it. Are you trying to forge one of our coins?
No, it is a hobby.
It is funny how much your lucky coin looks like one of the travel coins.
That is the luck.
He hands it to you. He says, well, do with it what you want. It won't do anything. And then he puts the rest of the coins in his pouch. Who has the remaining one?
I'll keep it.
Sumanis probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sumanis is
Once again, got a soft boy with a goddamn.
This is gonna be every single game. He keeps trying to con the Sinisters.
It'll be the opening intro. We'll just start there. Sumanis is already, maybe 15, 20 feet into the woods, and he's kind of whispering to himself in Elven, and he's kind of chanting a kind of a ritual over and over in his mind, and he's going to cast guidance for his nature roll, so to kind of navigate his way forward through these woods.
Yeah, as you guys take a beat and have a little ration. After Luca's done collecting the coins and having his own, he
I rolled a nat 20 and a 3 on my guidance, so it's I think a 28.
Okay. You get there immediately and there's no problem. He says, good luck.
Thank you.
And he starts stepping towards where you came from. And Shazim, you haven't seen this before, where he starts walking and then all of a sudden he's just further and further, like unfathomably further away, and then he's gone.
Well, Hilligus, do you want the good news or the bad news?
I want all the news.
Well, I still have my lucky coin, which is great. The Easterner has apparently lost half of our provisions, and I'm afraid most of the hard cheese.
Fuck. I almost spit take on that, on the hard cheese part.
Am I the Easterner?
Yes. I mean, that's not...
Your cheese is safe. I have it here, and I point to my head.
So
You ate all my cheese already?
No, friend. No.
he remembers the cheese. I think this is he's a mythos, and he can tell us all about how good the cheese should be when we're starving on the road.
You look around, Sumanis, you don't see him.
I'm probably actually like kneeling on the path.
The elf is a strange one.
And he
He does not have cheese in his head, though. I mean,
he gets up and like turns to face, you guys kind of a distance away. I almost did it. Almost spoke in the wrong person.
who?
He says,
Who?
Sumanis knows the way. You must follow me.
Well, if I remember a thing or two from Bartos and Al, I'll try to be their eyes, Hilligus, and
Do we need the ropes again?
we have them. That's on your pack.
This place that we search for, we do not know if it is magically hidden or simply hidden very well. Yes? How do we go about finding it?
That is a good question.
You guys kind of catch up to Simonis and start walking down this path.
If there is magic, I will see it. However, I am not the first to walk this path. Someone would have found it already if it is there to be found so easily.
Simonis, with your 28 or whatever, you realize that what you thought, or what you all thought, was just a hunter path or whatever, or like a hiking path. It actually was a road at some point, and it is just so overgrown.
You can probably make out the cart ruts.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah,
Yep.
and they were overgrown with bush and there's like stone and overwashed with a rain, but you kind of make out that it's probably a cart and a half wide road that led into this forest.
If you look, these trees are young. There was once farmland here.
Well, Shazim, then we should work well together, because if your eyes can see what the arcane would hide, I've had some luck finding what human hands would hide.
Good.
Or gnome hands. Shifty little gnome hands.
I'm sure that there's a reason that the four of us were picked for this. I'm sure we have skills that will complement each other.
Yes, it surely wouldn't be random player choice.
Hilgus, lead the way.
Huzzah!
Are you wearing like heavy armor?
Yeah, I'm wearing chainmail.
Chainmail, yeah. Big shield and sword.
Hammer, but yeah.
Hammer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Veet is going to try to, he's going to learn his lessons, or try to, and try to be like the woodland scout, not really scouting ahead as much as off to the sides. He's going to kind of like drift, not far, but kind of just weave side to side on this cart path, staying just like at the limits of vision, kind of catching people through the trees and weaving his way back into the cart path and then away to the other side. Thinking about how Bartos and Al kind of saw the terrain.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, this forest around this cart path is pretty dense. And as you travel deeper into it, the underbrush, it's like those, it's like an English wood where there are parts where it is just covered in brambles, but there are parts where it's nice and open, but there are a lot of tall trees, tall pines and oaks. The cart path, if it wasn't for Sumanis pointing certain areas out, it seems to sometimes like end, overgrown with trees, some old, some new. You estimate, Sumanis, that some of the trees that are like grown on the cart path, maybe 100 years old, some of them.
Okay. But they're all similar in age?
Yeah.
Okay.
It hasn't been traveled in a very long time. And the further and further you get into it, the more and more it gets overgrown.
Veet unfurls his cloak and whispers a little lucky phrase and casts mage armor.
Okay. Bing.
Do you want me to do my little...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Nope. Chaos magic.
I probably already cast mage armor, but I do have one of my invocations that I can always cast it at will. So I always have it up. Basically.
That's awesome.
Oh, cool.
Which is min-max wise, it's kind of a dumb ability to take because I can wear light armor.
Oh, yeah.
Got to show off the muscles.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
Can't cover these up.
2 tickets to the gun show. Sumanis kind of turns to you, Hilgus, and he says, "Tell me about your adventures in this place you last went."
Well, we traveled to a place where a meteor struck, but we did not see the meteor or where it struck, really. It was, I didn't. I couldn't see anything once we got close, but Veet could see after something happened, and he let us out, and he got something that he took with him that was a lot of people were interested in when we came back.
Your story is quite vague.
Shazim requires details.
Sumanis kind of, he's listening to the story, but his eyes drift out into the woods where Veet is scouting.
This cheese is delicious. Would you like some?
Please, yes.
Here, I give him a piece of
The
cheese.
cheese we had on the last mission was not quite as delicious as this cheese.
I don't see this.
No.
He gives you a lot of details about the cheese, like a lot more so than the actual mission.
So V wants to take Veet is not much of a wilderness traveler.
Yeah.
He's accompanied caravans plenty of times, but this is his only like second real trek in the wilderness. So he's basically just taking in this in comparison to the last time around.
I mean, it's kind of night and day where it was rotting and dead in Lockwater. It is alive. There are animals, birds. You can hear birds chirping. You see a deer, and it's alive. And you were like worried going into a forest again. You're like, oh fuck this. But as soon as you start wandering through, you kind of lighten your feet a little bit.
There are no bramble men here to attack us, which is nice.
As Veet like weaves his way back into the path, he says, "This is far more pleasant than the last woods. Those that aren't affected by pestilence are in fact a fairly pleasant journey. No knocking of bones."
No.
That is what happened, a pestilence.
Yes, something strange.
From the meteor.
Apparently, something struck the land and, well, took away the sight and...
Except for you.
Yes, well, I have always been a lucky one.
Simonis is kind of nodding his head slowly.
Where did you get that cheese?
It was Shazim had it.
I hold out a piece.
It was very lucky that Veet got his sight back when he did. Otherwise, we might have not come out of there so good.
Did he pull that out of his turban?
Oh,
I smell it.
Is that what he meant when he pointed at his head?
I mean, it smells cheesy.
A nibble. Head cheese.
A little bit of head cheese.
It is the appropriate temperature to eat cheese at.
Very well, how far do we think until we find what is left of Ontoro?
Sue might know. He knows much about traveling.
Sumanis knows that this cart path is small yet. When the road grows, it is likely the city will grow too. Your comrades, did they regain their eyesight? He's looking kind of directly at the two of you.
Oh, well, I can see again now.
This Sumanis knows.
Yeah, everyone is good.
Everyone is all good here.
We're all good here. How are you?
It was more of a the city was in darkness, I believe, and we did not lose our sight. We just could not see while we were there. Is that
Sumanis
is that
squints
right?
at this.
Veet shrugs non-committally, like,
You know.
Are you saying it was dark?
Yes. It was impossibly dark.
Magical darkness.
Yes. Probably magical.
Over an entire city.
Yes.
I have heard of such things.
This is true.
Yes.
Where are these places?
There is a place near the Tori Empire that is said to be in darkness. And there are those that can see through it.
well, I can't be the only lucky one, but I should be fixed ahead. Plenty of time to reflect in the past with the stuffy Witherfords at the Tradisium, and let us find our path.
You continue on in the afternoon in this, pretty pleasant little hike through the woods, and get to kind of a natural stopping point, a bit of a clearing, and you set up a little camp in the evening. You set a little fire. You haven't really seen any sign of anybody else in here, not even passing through. Yeah, Sumanis, with that roll, you would have thought if anyone was actually hunting these woods, you would have seen some sign of it. But anything you find is either ancient, rusted.
Yeah, like maybe an old cartwheel.
Yeah.
But,
Like a rotted piece of wood.
yeah.
That's
Clearly, no one has done any sort of maintenance to these lands.
Right.
Okay.
Sumanis, do you still feel strange? Can you feel the effects?
It is, it was as if you jump into the water for the first time. You feel the splash, but then once you are there, you no longer feel it.
Ah, what if you were to use your power?
Sumanis,
It's only level 2.
is still learning. I cannot travel the ways like Luca.
What do you have other ability? Something else that might give a clue.
Let me check my spell list.
Helgis is hungry.
Like
Veet, do we have that brined fish I asked you to get?
my eyes flash over to Shazim.
Does Shazim have that in his head too?
I hope not.
Fish? You brought cheese and fish?
It is preserved. It is cured fish. It's brined. It's delicious.
How long is this journey?
Hilgis is definitely Scandinavian.
I
Icelandic.
I thought this would only be a day or so. Why so many?
In my culture, we always try to bring at least twice the food we think we will need, perhaps more, just to be safe. Because if you are stuck, you do not want to starve. We could always,
Do
melt.
I get the impression that Hilgis is a little slow?
Yeah.
Do you actually have an 8 intelligence?
And wisdom?
And wisdom. Dear Lord.
Dump stats!
You get the impression that Veet is the one who's actually in control.
Wow.
You just notice there is gentle
Yeah,
encouragement. Yes.
I say, when you were a child, was there very little food on your table? And now you fear to have not enough.
Well, I had many brothers and sisters. There was ample food, but only it was always a fight for it. So we had to grab first and eat food plentifully.
I put a hand on your shoulder and I say, I understand, friend, I understand.
Don't underestimate Hilgis's wisdom. We left the Western Wilds with but crumbs. And had we not had as much provisions as he insisted upon, we probably would have never left. The relic would not have been recovered and the mission would have failed. That is why, big hearty hand on the shoulder, we follow Hilgis.
Hard boy?
Did everyone get tattoos? Did you guys all get tattoos?
V would be down to get a fucking
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah.
You guys are discussing this while you cook and eat and kind of get your camp up and running. Getting later in the night. It's a nice night out. It's clear skies. You can see the moon rise and stars twinkling.
Yeah, at one point, you're not sure where Shazim went. He's gone for a few minutes, but when he comes back, he has the backpack and starts unpacking food and kind of just shocked at how much food is in it.
Sumanis is kind of walking around the perimeter of our kind of campsite, and he's inscribing runes into the dirt. That's his way of casting alarm.
Okay.
V's
Sorry.
looking over at the suddenly appeared backpack and just Veet's gotten somewhat used to the idea that his Tradisium allies just have different gifts. So he won't take for granted that
Turban of holding.
Turban of holding is a thing. And
You are jealous, actually. You are wildly jealous.
yes, he's going to watch for a trick or two here.
Yeah.
And well,
That makes sense.
I suppose I will take the first watch. We should be wary on the road even when it appears safe.
Sumanis has set an alarm for us.
Thank him for us.
We will be aware of anything or anyone that would approach. But yes, it is wise to be prepared. And to your question, Shazim, Perhaps there is something I can try. Perhaps there is something that Sumanis can try.
Really?
It's hard.
George is getting very upset.
Lose a hit point every time you say
Every time.
I.
yeah.
There is something
Shrivels and dies.
that Sumanis can try, but I will step away. And he walks outside of the kind of perimeter of the campsite, and he starts to begin casting, saying sort of arcane words. And I'm going to use that first level spell, the gravity spell, and see if it affects anything around.
Okay.
If it feels different than when I normally cast it.
No.
Okay.
So when you cast it, things start to push into the ground a little bit more than they would, like a rock kind of gets dug in a little bit. But other than that, it
Nothing
appears
pushes
normal.
back.
No.
Okay.
Do you cast it by singing a John Mayer song?
Yeah. Bust out a slide guitar, and he walks back into the camp. There is nothing that Sumanis can tell.
Sumanis, I'm curious about your order and their power. Why send us over a day away from where we mean to go? Why not bring us directly there?
There are limits to how the Sanishers use their power. The roads that were rebuilt by the Tradicium, they have waystones, and they are these anchors that a Sinosure can pull from one anchor to the next. And when there are breaks, as there is one now...
I understand this. In the East, we call them ley lines.
Actually, Sumanis kind of nods rather excitedly. Yes, these exist in the Feywild as well.
In Vragos, we call them roads.
It seems like a long way to travel, these roads.
Oh, in Vragos? No, they are very impressive roads. A king a long, long time ago rebuilt the entire road structure of Vragos, some of the best in all the lands.
Sumanis looks unimpressed.
You all kind of settle into your watches. What is the order? The Hodor.
Hodor.
Veet takes first watch, and I don't know if
I will
Sumanis
go
doesn't
next.
feel the need of the watches. but
Helgis can watch next.
he wakes up Helgis and turns in after that.
Sumanis will volunteer for the last watch.
Shazim?
Yeah, so I'll take third, I guess.
That one sucks.
All right. So, you take your watch, and it's pleasant, a bit chilly. It's the spring chill. But you hear the noises of nature waking up at night. You hear some coyotes in the distance, and that kind of gives you a little chills because you haven't ever experienced.
I think about those wolves that attack
Yeah.
us, those fucking bony pesticide
wolves. Yeah.
shiver a little bit.
But other than that, everything seems quiet. So you wake up Helgis, and Helgis, you are standing watch. What are you doing?
I am sitting by the fire, probably just humming to myself.
Okay. You're from the Middle Kingdoms, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's my hometown.
If anything, so the alarm that I set alerts me with a ping in my mind if I am within 1 mile of the warded area, and it awakens me if I'm sleeping. And then it is an audible alarm as well,
Okay.
which produces the sound of a handbell for 10 seconds within 60 feet.
What does it trigger on?
It triggers on, alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the warded area.
Grasshopper,
Yeah.
small mouse.
I think you can set the size probably,
Yeah.
right? But and it's okay. All right, that's fine.
You are attacked by ants.
Fuck. They didn't see this coming.
There are ants in my pants. Is that?
Yeah. Hilgus, you're humming to yourself and kind of looking at the night as the moon is risen pretty much fully in the sky, lighting this plain, this little grass, tall grass clearing. And you're humming to yourself, and then you think you hear something, you stop. No, okay, you go back to humming, and then you definitely hear something. You stop humming, and coming closer to you, you hear this commotion north where you're coming from, or where you're going to, rather. And you can't really make it out, but you start to hear people speaking in an old Middle Kingdom dialect. Like, it's probably something you've heard teachers, like when you're a kid, maybe you learn some of the old ways that you read old books from the Middle Kingdoms, and you hear, "Help! They're coming for us! They've come! Run! You hear that in the forest coming towards you, and you hear the sounds of panic running at you. What do you do?
I will awaken my friends and say, Hilgus, here's something.
You all kind of...
I'm Hilgus.
You all shake out of sleep, and you hear this. Shazim, are you...
Yeah, I sleep like a normal human. Yeah.
Okay.
Just us normal humans sleeping.
Do you pull yourself into your turban?
Not
It's
around.
just the
Not
turban
around.
on the ground.
He wakes you, and you shake the sleep out, and you hear people screaming in a language you don't understand.
They are calling for help.
Coming towards you from the northern part of the woods.
Let us not get roped into another affair.
I draw my huge curved blade.
I cast mage armor on myself,
Okay.
unfurl my cloak.
I do that too.
You're standing there getting ready for what you think will be battle, and you hear this cacophony getting closer and closer. Hilgus, you hear, "Oh God, they've come! They've killed them all! Run!" And it's getting close and close, and you can swear they are like 20 feet away from you, but you don't see anything out there. And you hear this cacophony just wash over you and then disappear out the other side. And then it goes quiet. Sumanis, as soon as you hear the voices pass over you, you get that same vertigo feeling.
Got it. You guys see like Sumanis stumble and like catch himself on a tree nearby, and clearly like kind of recovering from kind of a dizziness.
John, can I cast detect magic?
Yeah.
So there's sort of like flame in my eyes, and I just kind of turn and start looking around.
You look around, and you see where they have what you think have gone, like a twinkle of light disappearing. But beyond that, you don't see anything else. So it kind of washed over you. You turned on your vision. You looked back, and it kind of
Just caught
this
the
light,
tail end of it.
just starts
Yep.
to fade into the south, and all the noise goes silent again. And you're just standing there in the silence. The alarm never went off.
Sumanis has felt that disturbance again. That same when we came off the way path.
Strange. A specter or something the like.
It was quite odd. Then they spoke a very, very old words.
V kind of steps forward, and you realize like you hadn't noticed where he was at all. He was just a little fucking hide me power. Says, well, so much for our alarm. Those were not living. So are all woods like this just awful and full of terror?
I don't know that they were not living, or perhaps they were here but not here.
Simonis, you think, I mean, in your estimation, if they were, ethereal spirits, but still interacting with this plane, they probably would have set the alarm off.
Sumanus's understanding of the arcane and what should be and what shouldn't. If they were here on this plane, they would have triggered the runes I set.
What's it, a few hours before sunup?
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty, it's just about.
Just about.
Yeah.
Just about done.
It is possible these people are from a different time.
And these are ghosts, yeah? And
What
then
was
there's
it they said?
help?
They were looking for help, and they said that they were coming for them.
They were coming for them. Well, they ran from that way. I point. Perhaps we find out what is coming for them.
Yes, they came from where we are going to.
Always a good sign.
This usually means it is the right path, the dangerous one.
That's one way to look at it. I find usually the best thing is to move camp at times like this.
Sumanus is willing. The rest of you?
Well, the sun is almost up. I would just as well begin.
I can find my way. Just lost a hit point. Sumanus can find his way in the dark.
Very well.
Yeah, it's not pitch black out. Number one, the moon, even though now it's not like fully over, is still pretty full and basting this woods in like that eerie moonlight. And on the other side in the east, you kind of see that little bit of red as dawn approaches. So you can see it for the humans. It's a bit difficult to make out more than probably 30 feet in front of you with good, accurate vision. Beyond that, it's a bit muddy, but Simonus probably can see pretty well right now.
With his elf eyes.
Elf eyes.
What's your elven eyes see?
So you pack up camp, kind of put out the
You
fire.
guys want to get a rope and tie it to each one of us?
Yeah. It's-
They wouldn't. The DMs wouldn't do that twice. And you head north.
As Sumanus is kind of walking in this early morning light, he turns over and looks at Veet. Your lucky coin.
Yeah,
Can Sumanus see it?
sure. Reach into a pouch and flip it in the air once and throw it over to you.
He catches it out of the air and kind of holds it up in the morning light. Looks at you. You think this is what gave you your sight back?
Well, in a way.
Luck favors you?
Luck finds those who find it best.
I'm glad you're with us then. He hands you the coin.
I take it and start spinning it in my fingers.
Just as Sumana said, as the sun starts to rise, the path itself does seem to widen, and a lot the tree growth kind of pushes away, and this cart path turns into a 2-cart path, and soon enough, as the sun starts to peek over the trees a bit, you come across this open grassland, tall grass, a couple bushes and trees kind of sparsely throughout it, but mostly a plain, big clearing. And you make out what look like foundational stones lined, maybe a stone wall here or there, all rubble, overgrown with these tall grasses. And down the middle is the path that you've been on. The grass and the bushes are a bit less here, and you can see as it travels through the middle of this town, travels up to a hillside, and on the hill there's another larger stone wall that is in ruin, surrounding a partially decaying keep.
Simona says, Un Toro? Yes? The city we are looking for?
It would seem so.
Shazim, have you heard of this place?
No, but we are far from my home, and I have no reason to study every ruin in your land. Be cautious. We don't know what manner of beast has decided to call this place home.
Or spirit, Shazim.
Yes, the past lingers here.
Well, we're not the first to find it. We just have to be the first to find what's here.
It is empty. There are a couple of animals that kind of scatter as you walk down this path. But beyond that, there's nothing here. It's quiet. Birds, but that's about it.
We walk towards the keep, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Just keep walking up the hill.
Yep. So you kind of poke into these little foundations, and some of them have obviously had cellars, but they're all kind of overgrown or busted in. You find remnants of rusted equipment, metal, rotted wood, stuff that was here and had been here for hundreds of years.
John,
Yeah.
As we're walking, as we get to maybe a spot that's a little clearer than another, Sumanis stops. If you would wait for a moment. And he kneels down and he begins tracing a series of glyphs into the earth and waits for a few minutes. And kind of out of the long grasses trots a fox. Cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And he's going to communicate with it, and he's going to ask if there are any ways below ground nearby.
Okay. It kind of cautiously approaches you, sniffs,
I leave some dried meat on the ground.
gets, grabs it and kind of backs off while it eats it and stares at you.
He'll get
I growl at the fox. And
And it says, many places below ground.
one the humans may have used.
Humans. No humans here.
Long ago. Stone.
The hill, the great hill, kind of like his nose points at the hill keep. Behind there is a cave. You kind of, he grabs the meat. How long does that last?
I think it lasts 10 minutes.
Okay. He hangs out with you.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, he can take off.
He kind of takes the last bite of the meat, backs off, and kind of trots into the woods.
If he's just watching his new friend, I assume, chirp and growl at a fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
He stands and turns to the rest of you. On the far side of the keep, there is a cave. It says that humans once passed there. There's stone.
Plenty of stone.
We can walk through, but I would say that our journey leads there. Yes?
Shazim just nods.
And Sumanis kind of steps forward again and kind of parts the grasses and starts walking towards the keep again.
Yeah, you walk up to the keep, up to the stone wall. Must have been a gatehouse here, and it's all crumbled. The keep itself, it looks like it's a compound where the keep is just one tower that's mostly crumbled, and there's just a couple foundations left, some rusted metal and wood, but beyond that, nothing left. You walk around this layout of this little compound, and then behind the keep, you find what looks like a hole that had been dug more recent than what is around. It looks like that there is still some grass growing over it, but there is a hastily set up stair excavation down, like a lattice work of wood that isn't rotted. It is overgrown and dirty, but not rotted. And it kind of goes down into this behind the keep on this hill, and you look down, and it's maybe 50 feet down, and then to one side is what we think is a stone foundation or something, and a hole busted into it.
Super kosher.
Yeah.
Sumanus is kind of standing, looking down this hallway.
If your four-legged friend is left, maybe I'll take a quick look.
Sumanus kind of gestures with his hand forward.
I flip the coin up in the air and whisper a little something and cast light on it and let it just fall to the bottom.
Yep.
And then I start to scramble down gingerly and kind of close my eyes, and you guys just lose sight of Veet. I use my innocuous.
Yep.
So it only lasts a minute, but
Okay.
I'm going to get down there and just kind of quickly and swiftly move forward to the limits. I'm not carrying the light with me. I'm just moving as far as I can see with it, kind of move inside, knowing that I feel safe. I've used this enough.
Yeah, that you can
Let my eyes adjust a little bit and see what I take in.
So you clambered down the wood scaffolding, and it was definitely hastily put up, but it's sturdy enough to carry your weight all the way down. At the bottom, it looks like the stones that had been cut or carved or maybe blown out of this wall are now kind of scattered in piles up against the wall of this hole. And inside is darkness, although the light that you have in the middle, and pick up your coin and bring it with you into this, and kind of cast a shadow through this entrance. And inside is a probably 100 diameter foot, and it kind of matches what you think is the footprint of the keep above this basement cellar. And not being in the open elements, you see these like tables where some of them are like knocked over or rotted, but they are in pretty good stead. They're fairly well crafted. And you even see like some old armor that's rusted, that's been hung on the wall, as some sort of heirloom or something.
It's a man cave.
Yeah, it's a man cave. Obviously some sort of, and you've been in plenty to know that this is a treasure room or a vault or somewhere where someone keeps something that they want to keep.
All right. Does it look
And it is empty, besides the kind of adornment of that armor and maybe a couple like rusted weapons. It's empty.
this space looks like it could be as old and rundown as the keep? But the excavation looks newer?
Yes.
Down to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only reason that any of this wood survived is because it's been in the keep underground for so long.
Can I take a guess at how recent the excavation looks? I mean, not exactly, but days, months, years?
Years.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's about my time. I slink back out and pocket the coin and clamber back up and tell my companions what I saw. Someone has been looking for things, and I would say either they didn't find it or they found what they were looking for. We can search more, but...
Veet, you are full of surprises. That trick with the light and disappearing. I thought you but a street rat, but it would seem you have other abilities.
Never say but a street rat.
Diamond in the rough right there.
Oh, God.
How many Aladdin references can we do?
We,
Are you trained in the arcane?
No, just a trick here or there.
Luck favors him. It is a magic of itself.
I would say someone came looking. They seem to be long gone. I think it is safe enough for us to take our time and look further if we think there's anything to find.
Very well. Can you do the thing with the light again?
Of course. Take the coin back out and
Light it up. Light it up.
I start walking in.
Yeah.
Well-
It's like a dug down, right?
Yeah,
we
like
shimmy down
like scaffolding, so you can kind of climb down. It's not too difficult.
Okay.
So you all clambered down to the bottom, and you see the same thing. This busted open wall into a fairly empty chamber with a couple large, long, heavy oaken tables that are like display tables, and some rusted weapons and a rusted suit of armor. And then at one end, you do see this massive door, iron door that has rust all over it, but looks like it's still pretty
Intact.
solid. Yeah.
I immediately walk over to that.
Yep. You look at it. It looks like it's solid. It has been eaten away at in time, but it is still closed and appears to be locked.
Does it look like whoever looted this place tried to open it? Like, does it look like it's been like hit with a pickaxe or anything?
Not from this side, but yeah, you can't. It looks okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It could very well be just the way to. Well, it is the way to get in here.
the
right?
way that you would get in. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they dug in through a
Right.
sidewall.
Yeah.
Correct.
But like if the keep were still standing, this is how you would enter it.
Yes. Yeah.
They
I get it.
did the whole Egyptian pyramids mummy tactics.
Yeah.
Veet's going to kind of, take in the door and then start kind of slowly making his way along the walls and looking for any other compartment or hiding place or anything like that.
Yeah. Make a investigation.
20.
Nice. 30-20.
Yeah. So you're kind of
Yeah, not 20.
not dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay, that's fine. You're feeling along the wall, and you get up to the armor, and there's just like it's kind of displayed on this oaken shield shaped display stand. You kind of look at it, and you notice there's like a mechanism on the side, and kind of feel around, and it unlatches and opens, and this whole like wood paneling slides open. And behind it is a like iron wood chest. Yeah.
I whisper to myself as I unlatch it, Shazam.
Well done, Veet.
You pull it out, and you realize it's not locked. And you carefully open it, and there's nothing inside. So it looks like a gold chest, like you would hide. You've done this before. You've seen strong boxes where people keep gold or valuable gems. This looks like one of those things, and there's nothing in there.
I bring the coin out closer and set it down. And now that I see that it's empty, I start to investigate it more and see if I can see signs that it was unlocked or forced at some point.
With your investigation roll, you look at it, and it was opened properly. There was no picking or forced entry.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic and study the box.
Okay. It's mundane, a normal looking box. And you look around, and everything around here looks non-magical.
I mean, does this look like it's mundane, but is this like a nice fucking box? Like
Yeah.
where someone might hide like a significant...
Yeah. You think this would be where they probably kept their treasury in terms of gold.
Is the box itself valuable?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, it's been in that compartment. And you notice that the kind of where the dust is and the way that whole display shifted out, kind of looking around, that hasn't been open for a very long time.
You seem disappointed.
Well, it couldn't be that easy. Something good was here, and someone found it first.
But why leave the box?
What's a box if you're after what's in it?
Sometimes a box is not just a box, though.
I suppose.
Others have been in this place and have not found what we are seeking. Hundreds of years have passed. Many have tried. We would be fools to think we are the most clever, the most well-equipped. What have others not done that we may do to find this thing? I gotta start walking around the chamber.
Gotten past this door.
Veet's going to make his way over to the door and reaches into his little bandolier and takes out his tools.
Yep.
And starts getting to work.
As you are doing that, Sumanis comes. He's like at your shoulder, and for a second you think he's probably just watching you, but then you can kind of hear a slow chant under his breath, and he makes a sign towards you. You have bardic inspiration.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's the Cynosure class is basically a slightly different flavored bard, and he does. It's usually glyphs, symbols, whether they're kind of scratched in the dirt or on a surface, or even signed in the air, is how he traditionally passes on his gifts.
All right. Should I make a roll to open this fucker?
Go for it.
Was it D6, right?
Yep.
Using my my little Tides of Chaos here.
Tides of Chaos.
And that's pretty good. 19 plus 4, 23.
Okay. You get to work, and it's definitely number one, it's old, and getting around the fact that it hasn't been locked or unlocked in a long time. Trying to bust some of the rust off of it and get the mechanism functioning again. And you get it, and you get a click. Yep.
Simonis has an idea. If he thinks that if he tells Hilgis there is a lot of cheese on the other side, he may actually smite the door to open it.
But you get that click after a while. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Oh,
Yay.
nat 20.
Okay.
22.
You click and you start to open the door, and the door starts to open for you as the mechanism
Shazam.
as it's been opened
Shazam.
gets pushed back by
different.
a ton of rubble rock that has been lodged against it, and the rubble starts to pour through this door as you barrel roll behind, and the rest of you see this loud cacophony of rocks and debris start to pour in, and then eventually just stops in front of the door.
After it stops, Helga shouts, Veet, look out!
And you realize why they didn't use the door. There's probably a good 50 feet of stone rubble above you.
Are you okay?
Well, no one has done this before.
The wind, the air kind of starts to gather, and a lot of the dust seems to get swept up and pushed out of the entrance we just came in. I use prestidigitation.
Copy.
I kind of grab the coin and poke my head into the rubble and just kind of confirm that it's just
Yeah, it's just
impassable.
yeah.
You find an hourglass. Wow. Shit. Whoa. That was easy.
I must, I'm very curious about this place and the mystery that we have gotten involved in. I must go to my library, and I have a book that may be useful. I will return. And Shazim disappears, and a red gem from his turban falls and hits the floor.
Does he have his own Cynosure person to take him places, or
Could have saved some time.
is it in his hat?
I pick up the stone.
Okay.
There must be more.
John,
Yeah.
the the hourglass that we're looking for. I'm gonna go to my safe place.
Yep.
And so
My special place.
Shazim appears in a small, opulently decorated room with pillows on the floor, and it's like a circular room, very similar in size and shape to the one we were just in.
Yep.
But same set.
Yeah.
But all the walls are bookshelves.
Yep.
And there's just pillows on the floor. And I go pull a book off the shelf and open it, and I have that rubbing inside. And I'm gonna read. I want to read up on this thing we're looking for.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to roll Knowledge Arcana.
Yeah, why don't you roll that to see if you have anything on it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I know anything about it.
Okay.
15.
So you're looking through some books of like partially translated tablets, like the one you have. Some workings from beyond the awakening and even before the quiet period before. You know that mages dealt in magical wares, and this, from what you got from Witherford and from Luca, that this was just like an inventory or maybe even as like a sales sheet or something for this item. But oftentimes that mages will, the functionality of the item has a lot to do with what it is, in terms of a magic.
So what you mean is like they put
Form,
magic.
dysfunction?
They put magic into items that like are symbolic.
Yeah. Generally,
okay.
yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, yeah.
Unless they're really trying to, like, what you know is like this isn't was on at least in those days on the up and up in terms of a sale.
Sure.
They weren't trying to hide it as what it is. It just was what it was.
Shazim appears, and
I'm holding this.
you're holding me.
Simonis is holding the stone in the palm of his hand, and then he's just looking at it.
Yeah,
and
I
then-
don't know. It pops up in the air, and
Yeah, it kind of falls out of your hand, like jumps off your hand, and then
there's a puff of blue smoke.
I knew it'd be blue.
And I'm holding an open book.
I wish I didn't have to speak in third person.
I'm holding a book, and I say, this is interesting.
Shazim.
I think we are looking in the wrong place.
Veet is kind of not frantically, but just steadily making his way back around these walls, like he's convinced he's missed something.
I believe that we should set up camp and wait.
Where is this book from?
My library.
And your library is?
I point to my head.
It's where it's. You have cheese in a library?
It is a pocket dimension. Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Excellent.
A what?
Imagine if you could fit all the food you wanted in your pocket.
Hilga, let us set up camp and eat salted fish and hard cheese, and I will tell you the story of how I came to have this. But I believe that we should not be looking here. It is not a place we need to look in. It is a time.
Simonis kind of shifts his weight from like foot to foot, and he says, how is it you propose we do this?
I believe if we wait until a few hours before the sun rises, we will learn more.
Like those people.
you guys start to make your way out to make camp, climb up this scaffolding, and you step through the broken down gatehouse, and then you blink your eye and you open again, and you're in the middle of a bustling Middle Kingdom city with people and buildings and life, and that's where we'll end.
Shazam!
No, it's Shazam.
What did you used to do back in the day in second edition? Detect. What was it?
Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed another installment of our Choose Your Own Adventure series. Our intro music is by Wilhelm Scream. Our outro music is by Antti Martikainen. Scores are by Antti Martikainen and Adrian von Ziegler. Find links to check out all of them, as well as links to all of our social media, bonus episodes, and a lot more stuff at our website, nastygramrpg.com. See you next Tuesday.
That's nasty.
You step through the broken down gatehouse and you blink and open your eyes, and you're in the middle of a bustling Tory Middle Kingdom city with people and sirens.
And police. Fucking Sylvester Stallone comes
We
over.
overshot.
Time cop.
Wrong way.